Hey everybody, it's JR at CES. Day 2, we are in the North Hall of the Convention Center in the Kicker, well, it's not a booth really, what is it?
The Kicker Kingdom.
I love it, the Kicker Kingdom. We're here to talk KS amplifiers. We got some cool new stuff happening. I've got Aaron from Kicker here to tell us all about it.
KX amplifiers are totally new this year. We've had great success with the existing KX amps, but we want to make them even better. I've got 4 key things I want to show you that we've upgraded. First of all, our customers have been demanding 1 ohm stability for many years. So we've gone and made all the KX amplifiers 1 ohm stable.
So it's not going to overheat. You don't need extra ventilation to make it possible. It's not going to shorten the life of the amplifier. So you're good to go.
But don't forget, amplifiers don't make power. They simply convert your electrical system into big fat music. So you've got to beef up your electrical system to get maximum power from big amplifiers.
How do you suggest doing that most of the time?
Battery is a good start, but it is not the ending point. Truly, what you need is an alternator. Now, alternators are a little bit scary, I know, but alternators actually create the electricity to power the system. Batteries just store the energy.
Cool. So what do we got going on here?
So in the KX lineup, as I mentioned, 1 ohm stability. In addition, wireless bass knob. Check this out. Using Bluetooth LE technology, we can give you a wireless subwoofer control. Imagine the possibilities. You can mount it in the overhead compartment of your vehicle. You can put it in the driver's door. You can put it in the back seat. Anywhere you want to put this, it'll work wirelessly. Not only does it control the gain of the subwoofers, but it also has the shock. Just like our front row processor, music that doesn't actually have bass, we can give it real bottom end bass. For example, I love Van Halen 1984, one of my favorite albums. There's no bass in that music. This adds bass, so I get low end subwoofer thump. Also, we've got a phase control. This is a little bit confusing. This will simply allow you to change the positive and negative at the amplifier without having to get out of the car and do it. The effect for the customer is bass up front or bass behind you, bass up front or bass behind you. You can check it out just by flicking the switch. Lastly, we have an output clip indicator. People love to blow up subwoofers. No, they don't. But what they don't know is how they're blowing them up. This will actually tell you when you've hit the red limit of your subwoofer. When this starts flashing, turn down the volume or turn down the bass. You're about to blow up your subwoofer.
And totally wireless, like was this thing battery powered? What do we got going on?
It is battery powered. It's a pretty standard battery. You can buy it at any electronics store. It'll last about 2 years before you have to replace it.
Even if I'm adjusting it like every song?
Exactly. Every song adjusted, you get about 2 years out of it.
That's pretty impressive.
So one of the big challenges with adding amplifiers to stock systems is factory radios don't have RCAs on them. So one of the things we've done in our KX line of amplifiers is we put in the Fit2 circuitry, fail-safe integration technology. That means almost any factory radio can be installed with a Kicker amplifier in the system, and you don't have to add extra adapters or LOCs, line output converters, or any other control boxes. You can do that straight into our amplifiers. Now we also have what's called a DC offset turn-on. All that means is the amplifier will turn itself on automatically when you turn on the factory radio, simplifying your install big time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, when talking to customers about how they might install an amp into a new car, they get it running the wire to the battery. We can even help them understand how to, a ground, why it's needed, where you do it. But running a remote turn-on lead without an aftermarket stereo, there's no blue wire, there's no obvious place to connect it. How do I get this amp to turn on and off at the right time? From a fuse, from a wire somewhere in the car, but you don't need any of that. It just knows.
Right. Yeah. And some of the newer radios, we call them smart radios, they actually have a protection circuit built in. When you take out a factory speaker and put in an aftermarket amplifier and speakers, the radio throws a code and it shuts down to protect itself because it thinks there's a blown speaker. Inside our amplifier, there is a load, a resistive load, that will correct that situation so the factory radio thinks everything's okay.
Cool, and there's something about the gain on this is pretty special from what I hear?
One of the biggest challenges of installing an amplifier is matching the output of your radio to the input of the amp. Well, we've made that simpler with an input gain light. When you're adjusting the input gain, the amplifier will actually tell you visually with a red light, hey, you've already hit your maximum input, stop, you're done. So we're making it very simple to get loud, dynamic music without any distortion.
Our tech support department is going to love that. When they have a customer on the phone setting up an amp, they're going to be able to help them. Hey, look for the light.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily listen for something specific. You
No.
can just watch.
No, you don't.
That's great.
Trying to make it easy for you.
Cool. Thanks again.